Howdy, Fletcher from All Things Overlanding here. On today's gear review, I'm going to be talking about these Gearlight portable magnetic lanterns. I'm going to kind of run you through all the features, all the benefits of this thing. I will say, you know, there are a million of these things online. These I'm really impressed with because of a few things, and I will go through those here in a second. Not the least of which is just the number of features that it's got built into it. Also the price. These things are really, really affordable, and I will put a link in the description below. So if you're looking, they come in a 2-pack. So you get a couple of them. You can have one up in your tent. You can have one in your vehicle, you know, that kind of stuff. But they're awesome. They're really cool. I will talk you through everything from the features to my kind of thoughts on them and whether I think it's a good buy or not on this review. So stay tuned. Let's get into it. All Things Overlanding is brought to you by Red Arc, Power Management Solutions, Rugged Bound Supply Company, rooftop tents, awnings, roof racks, and more. Overland Addict, premium overland gear. Last US Bag, overlanding bags and equipment. Northology Overland, trips, and a monthly overlanding magazine. All of these companies are really amazing, so I highly recommend you click through the links in the description below to learn more about each of them. Alright guys, so as I mentioned, today we are talking about the Gearlight portable lanterns. They come in a 2-set. Here are a couple things that I really like about them. So one, they are very small. Like this is probably about the size of a 12-ounce can. So, you know, if you don't have a ton of room, if you are looking for something to store in your drawer system or under your seat or in a glove box or something like that, there are a ton of options for these for all kinds of uses, not just in overlanding. So again, they are very small. These handles on the side fold down and click in here, but then they keep you from accidentally opening the lantern because the way this lantern functions is when you pull the top up, that's how the light comes on. And you can see it's really bright. The higher up you pull it, the more light comes out, so you can kind of control the amount of light that's coming out based on how much you open it, right? But it is battery powered, and I'm going to talk about that here in a second. There are pros and cons to that. I got these because of the advantage of being able to replace batteries in them, and again, I will go into more detail on that here in a second. But with these handles on the side, you know, locking in like that, it just prevents the thing from being sitting in a drawer and like vibrating open or anything. Like it doesn't come open when these handles are locked in place. So that's just a really smart feature. It's a smart way to store the handles so they don't take up a lot of room, don't risk bending them or getting them, you know, tweaked out of shape. And it also serves a dual function of keeping the lantern closed, which is really cool. On the base here, you will see that it has 3 magnets. So when you're like by your vehicle, this is what I've used it for is, you know, if I'm at camp, I usually set up a table under my awning beside my vehicle. If I'm in a hurry or something, or if it's not quite dark yet, I will just take one of these, you know, pop it open, boom, stick it on the side of the truck, and it lights up the whole area, right? Like it lights up like a 10-foot square area. So, Jesus, bright. So it's just handy to have. Like if something happened on your vehicle, if you were, you know, God forbid, to break down on the side of the road and you were climbing around underneath of it or on the side of it, you could smack this thing on the side and use it as a work light, right? So there's just tons of ways to use that magnetic attachment. Now, the other cool thing in addition to that, and I don't know if you can see it in here or not, but there's a hook too. So this is really cool. So this little hook comes up and then you can hang it essentially upside down. But you know, if you're in a tent or if you are in a hammock and you have like a guy line above you for your tarp, for example, you can hang this up and use it to read or whatever. When you're at camp, just use the hook, you know, and hang it up above you. So that is pretty cool too. And I like that it's all self-contained, right? Like again, you could just literally use this as a lantern. You don't have to use all the fancy features, but the fact that it has them and it gives you so many ways to mount it, hang it, you know, use it is just really cool. As I mentioned, this is battery powered. And the way that you replace those batteries is the bottom actually screws off, and then inside of there it takes 3 AA batteries. And the other cool thing is it comes with batteries. So again, for the price point of this light, to come with 6 AA batteries, like batteries are expensive, you know? 6 AA batteries probably cost, I don't know, $5 or something. So you're getting a pretty good deal with that. Pros and cons of batteries versus like a rechargeable lithium battery. So I actually have a couple lights that are similar to these, even with the magnetic base, that are rechargeable. And initially I bought those because I was like, you know what, that way I don't have to mess with bringing flash or batteries with me or anything like that. I just will always be able to use them and just recharge them. In practice though, easier said than done, right? Like when I'm going on a trip, I have camera batteries, I have my phone, I have my watch, I have these lanterns, I have flashlights, I have all this stuff that I need to remember somehow to pre-charge before I go. And I never remember that. Like, I never remember that. So the nice thing about this is if I just keep a couple AA batteries in my truck, like keep 10 or 12 of them in my truck, I can just throw batteries in this and I'm brand new. I'm good to go. And the batteries in these things last, especially with these LED lights nowadays. I mean, you probably get, you know, if you go quite a bit, you could probably get at least a year out of it, you know, for a set of 3 batteries. So super, super cool to have that option. So now I've got both, right? If I think to recharge my rechargeable ones, I don't have to waste my batteries. Cool. In most cases, though, I'm using these because I forgot to charge them and I just need to use the light. So again, for the price, I really like this thing. The features are really good too. So let's kind of, with that being said, let's kind of wrap this up with my kind of final thoughts. And should you buy this, right? Again, there are a ton of options out there. I have been impressed with sort of the quality of this. Like, it is pretty hefty and nice, solid feeling construction. It is all plastic. There are some of these that are metal, but I feel like they're a little bit more expensive typically, or maybe they look a little bit pricier, but their components are cheaper on the inside. This thing has a good heft to it, feels really sturdy. I've used it for a little while now, and it's just worked perfectly. So, you know, I think for the size of it, it's a really nice buy. I think the storability of it and the ability to throw it in drawers or a glove box or something is a really good feature. As I mentioned already, I love all the different ways that you can mount it. That's really cool. The batteries for me is a pro. The fact that you can swap batteries out is a pro. And just the amount of light that it throws out is really impressive too, right? Like, I mean, I feel like I'm the sun right now. So overall, I really like this thing. I think that they're, you know, for a 2-pack, including batteries, it's a great buy. So again, if you're looking for something like this, there will be a link in the description below. Definitely go check that out. If you have any questions about it, or if you use these, or if you use something similar and you want to chat about it, post up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. Also down in the description below will be links to Facebook, Instagram. I have a podcast too, so if you want to go check that out, feel free. A newer thing that I've started doing is I actually have a Patreon page too. So, you know, no pressure at all. I kind of historically have not liked Patreon. I feel like it's kind of a money grab. What I'm trying to do with it that's a little different, though, is I'm trying to make like a really engaged, like conversational group of people that hang out and can talk about like ideas for overlanding, talk about like gear questions and things like that. And, you know, you guys can influence some of the videos that I'm doing. Like, that's some of the cool part too, is tell me what you want to see. And if it makes sense for me, I'll buy it and I'll review it and tell you what I think. So definitely check that out as well. There's a link in the description to that. Other than that, though, I hope that that was helpful. I hope that gave you some good info. Make sure to click that subscribe button. Click the thumbs up if it was helpful. Click the bell to be notified when new videos drop. I'd love to have you guys as subscribers. I'm really into this video stuff now. I love doing gear reviews. I love doing trip videos. I love doing modification and do-it-yourself things to the vehicle, and sharing it with you guys, right, to help you out. So again, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for liking the video, and we'll see you next week.